Do you ever feel like you're giving it your all on a Q&A or a group coaching call, but it just is not landing? There's blank faces, a dead chat, you're asking a question, and crickets. So you're just sitting there still talking. Well, what if I told you it's not because you're a bad coach, and it's not about having a big personality? It's about mastering two core facilitation skills that make your sessions magnetic, engaging, and transformational, no matter how quiet the room starts out. This is the skill set that separates good coaches from transformational ones, and in today's video, I'm breaking it all down. And stay with me to the end because I'm going to give you a simple re-engagement move you can use the minute that the energy dips, and it works instantly to bring the room back online. Let's get it. Let's dive right in and break down the two essential tools of excellent facilitation, skills that will change forever how you lead your group calls and events. The first, sensory acuity, aka reading the room. Sensory acuity is your ability to read subtle, real-time cues from the group, posture, tone, silence, energy, eye contact, and then adjust accordingly. It's what tells you whether to pause, push forward, or shift directions. But don't let the simplicity of this fool you. You're not just reading the room, you're leading because you're reading the room. Most people miss these cues because they're in their head. They're thinking about what to say next. But when you stay present, you start to track the energy of the group like a second heartbeat. Let me give you a couple of examples. Let's say you're on a Zoom call, looking at the screen, and you've got everyone with the same smiley face reaction. Or there's a bunch of blank faces, or people looking down at their phones. There's silence after a prompt, maybe the chat box is a ghost town. Or you're talking 70% of the time. These are all disengagement signals. And real talk, my friend, they didn't buy your program just to hear you talk. On the flip side, you might see nods, smiles, people actively taking notes. The chat can be buzzing. Maybe you can see people laughing, even if you can't hear them. And perhaps people are building on each other's ideas. And that is what engagement looks like. When you're tuned in, you can feel the shift in energy. And that's how you know it's time to lean in or shift directions. So, how do you respond when engagement dips? Well, number one, call it out, but gently. Something like, hey, everybody, looks like we hit a pause. What's coming up for everyone right now? You can also prompt a reflection to take 30 seconds and jot down what stood out to you just now. And you can even switch the format. Let's pop into a breakout for 2 minutes and just share what's resonating with you. These might not be originally part of your plan, but they're not disruptions. They're design choices. They say, hey, I see you. I care. I'm in this with you. Let's make sure we're pacing in a way that you can keep up with. And number two, feedback loops, aka your growth engine. Feedback isn't just about collecting testimonials at the end of your program. It's a loop. It's not a finish line. You want to build in tiny moments of feedback throughout your entire program experience. Why? Because it helps you recalibrate in real time. Here's how to start. First, you can use Zoom's post-call rating screen for a 1 to 5 pulse check. Next, you can ask micro feedback questions during your session, like, what's one word to describe how you're feeling right now? Or what insight just landed for you? And you can also schedule milestone emails, like, what's been the most valuable for you so far? Or what's still unclear? These micro feedback loops do 3 things. They create safety, they build trust, and they signal that this is a co-created space. Remember, people don't just want a perfect presentation. They want to feel like they're a part of something alive, and feedback loops keep it alive. Let's use one of the common strategies inside of any coaching program, the hot seat. A hot seat exercise is an opportunity for one member of the group to share a challenge or something that they want to move faster on. And then the rest of the group will support them in overcoming that challenge or moving faster toward that thing that they want to move faster toward. In masterminds, it's very much a collective co-created experience, whereas in group coaching programs, typically the expert, the one that has joined all of these people together, is the one to take the lead on coaching and providing strategy. Now, if we think about this from the perspective of sensory acuity, remember, this is being present and reading the room. Just because one person's on the hot seat doesn't mean the rest of the people in the room don't exist. So while facilitating a hot seat is primarily to support the person on the hot seat, you also have to think about how can this be relevant to everyone in the room. And you can do that through sensory acuity and feedback loops. First, sensory acuity. Remember, sensory acuity is about being present with the entire room. So while some experts will take the hot seat as an opportunity to ask, how do I show them how smart I am? Or think to themselves, man, I hope this is relevant for everyone, you can flip it. Instead, ask yourself, how can I show this person on the hot seat how capable they are? And how can I intentionally make this relatable to everyone in the room? Generally, there are a few things you can do in this order to structure a hot seat powerfully. First, you can frame the hot seat for the room by saying something like, even if this isn't your exact challenge, listen for the pattern that you may be running to. Then, as you're coaching through the hot seat, also narrate your method as you go. So rather than just asking a question, tell the room why you're asking that question. And even if it's not a mastermind, you can involve the room by asking a question like, who else has hit something like this? Does anyone have an experience to share? Ideally, a firsthand experience. And you can always add a reflection at the end, something like, drop in the chat what insight just clicked for you by hearing this other person's hot seat. Using it as a way to celebrate the person who made the bold and brave choice to sit on the hot seat in front of their peers and their expert mentor. That way, it's not just one person growing, but the whole room. If you're here to build a program that doesn't just teach, but truly transforms, then these two skills are your secret weapons as you offer support around your course curriculum. So comment below, which of these are you going to try this week? Sensory acuity or feedback loops? And if you're curious about how these facilitation skills could strengthen your program, let's chat. I offer zero pressure discovery calls where we can look at your course together, spot the opportunities, and see if a done for you or done with you support might be the right next step. You'll see the link in the description. And if you've enjoyed this video, then like and hit subscribe so you can catch every week of the Course Flow to Cash Flow show. And remember, you don't need to hold the room perfectly. You just need to stay in the room with them. You've got this. See you soon.